My brothers and sisters in Christ, today the Church celebrates the memorial of the Queenship of Mary. And this is a day and occasion. It was only instituted or added to the calendar in 1954 by Pope Pius XII, but it's a natural extension of what we celebrated last Monday, the great solemnity of the Assumption of Mary. And so, the Assumption of Mary, as we looked at last week, the Assumption is, in one sense, a new dogma. It's the most recently promulgated in 1950 compared to some of the ones from the ancient church. But in fact, it's not anything new at all. Its roots go back to the earliest generations of the church, that Mary was assumed body and soul into heaven at the end of her natural life. And so, unlike that, which even though everyone had always held it, it needed to be dogmatically proclaimed, the Queenship of Mary, that she is Queen of heaven and earth, never was proclaimed as a dogma, but it didn't need to be. And why is that? Well, it's a natural extension of two other dogmas that we hold in our faith. So we can say that if Mary was truly the Mother of God, as established by the Council of Ephesus in the 5th century, so if Mary is the Mother of God, and if Mary was assumed body and soul into heaven, meaning she's in heaven, and she's the Mother of God, then she is the Queen of heaven and earth. Why is that? Well, we often in modern times think of queen as the monarch, but of course the most ancient tradition, especially in the more patriarchal traditions, was that there was a king, but the queen often wasn't just the wife of the king, but the queen mother. The mother of the king, especially since kings were often young, the queen mother was a place of great respect and power and influence. And so, if the king of heaven and earth is in heaven and his mother is there with him, then she is naturally, by extension, the Queen of heaven and earth. Okay, so the title is kind of self-explanatory. But what does this mean for us? What does it mean for our life of prayer, for our devotion? And so for this reason, in 1954, Pope Pius XII, and I shared this in my bulletin letter this weekend, if you didn't see it, but he shared the reasonings for the instituting of this day on the calendar. And he says, by this encyclical letter, we're instituting a feast so that all may recognize more clearly and venerate more devoutly the merciful and maternal sway of the Mother of God. We are convinced that this feast will help to preserve, strengthen, and prolong that peace among nations, which daily is almost destroyed by recurring crises. Is she not a rainbow in the clouds reaching towards God, the pledge of a covenant of peace? Look upon the rainbow and bless him that made it. Surely it is beautiful in its brightness. It encompasses the heaven about with the circle of its glory. The hands of the Most High have displayed it. Whoever, therefore, reverences the Queen of heaven and earth, and let no one consider himself exempt from this tribute of a grateful and loving soul, let him invoke the most effective of queens, the mediatrix of peace. Let him respect and preserve peace, which is not wickedness unpunished, nor freedom without restraint, but a well-ordered harmony under the rule of the will of God, to its safeguarding and growth, the gentle urgings and commands of the Virgin Mary impel us. Earnestly desiring that the Queen and Mother of Christendom may hear these our prayers, and by her peace make happy a world shaken by hate, and may after this exile show unto us all Jesus, who will be our eternal peace and joy. To you, venerable brothers, and to your flocks, as a promise of God's divine help and a pledge of our love, from our heart we impart the apostolic benediction. Said differently, and remember that this is being instituted still in the aftermath of World War II, from the great destruction and horrors of that war, and then as the Cold War began, the sign of hope that the Blessed Virgin Mary is to rebuilding a broken humanity. And so while the glory of Mary is derived from her Son, the source is Jesus, she nonetheless remains a loving mother and a powerful intercessor and model for us. And so today, our eyes look to the Queen of Heaven, and we say, O Blessed Virgin Mary, O hail full of grace, pray for us sinners, now and at the hour of our death. Amen.